Republican David Dreier has been watching this culinary nightmare up close, and let's just say he lost his appetite for a lot more than just health care. Because the congressman is also the ranking minority member on the House Rules Committee, the very same committee where they seem to be changing the rules as they go along. Congressman, this rule now where you don't need an actual vote on a bill, but you can agree to the other stipulations that the House approves from what the Senate offered, to me, it just sounds like BS, is it?
That sounds like a pretty poor explanation to me, Neal. Can you explain a little clearer to me?
I wish I could. It's a mess, right?
Well, for the record, let me say there's no whining and dining here. I'm not on Air Force One, just drinking Fox Business Channel, Business Network water that is being handled.
Very well handled, Congressman. You get an automatic return invite with that, but continue.
Yeah, right. Listen, well, having been on your first show,
that's very true. That's very true.
We're
very honored.
Let me say that, you know, the real issue, Neal, is a lack of accountability. You know, everybody says they're for transparency, disclosure, and accountability, and yet Speaker Pelosi and her team have been working overtime to try and avoid accountability. And thanks to you and others on your network and a lot of people around the country, and thanks to what they did last summer on the cap and trade bill when they dropped a 300-page amendment in our lap at 3 o'clock in the morning and voted on it just a few hours later, the American people came to understand that process is substance. We found that the people do get it. And so the Americans get it, that they're trying to resort to subterfuge. And because we're talking about this so much now, no matter what they try to do, at the end of the day, they are going to be held accountable, even if they do pass a rule that allows for no debate.
Congressman, is that why phones are ringing off the hook there? We're told that all the lines were jammed. Rush Limbaugh might have instigated it, but the fact of the matter is it continued all day. And as many listeners as Rush has, it's got to be even more than Rush could inspire. So what's going on?
No, I mean, it's, I mean, I will tell you, I mean, I've been on programs around the country, and I've been encouraging your audience, as I will right now, to encourage your audience to call those Democrats, like the member who was just on, Mr. Becerri, and let them know how strongly you feel about this issue. And, you know, the fact is, I don't think we should govern by public opinion poll. I don't think we should govern simply by telephone calls. But an informed representative is what we should have, because we now have a very informed electorate by virtue of the great communications.
Well, I'll tell you, Congressman, what they're informed about is this latest rules chicanery, and you're quite right to say it sounds confusing because you have a member who's heading that committee on a temporary basis now, this Ms. Slaughter, who's now found a way to, I think if I'm getting it right, Congressman, you can help educate us here, avoid a direct House vote on a bill that will be the largest case of one-shot federal spending since the New Deal.
Exactly, and I will tell you, it's something that's been done in the past. It's called deeming, a self-enacting provision, and yeah, it's happened in the past. We've done it, but it has never, ever been done. Even Democrats acknowledge it's never been done on an issue of this magnitude. If you look at both Social Security and Medicare, Neal, there were huge debates on them, and it was done in a bipartisan way. And we know that the only thing bipartisan about this bill will be the opposition to the bill. And so, yeah, as I was saying, they're trying to use the rules. Again, we would simply have the 30 minutes of debate on the rule and then a vote on the rule, and based on the plan that I've seen. And by the way, I don't know that they've made a final decision on that. And I do know, based on not just the rumors going around here, but statements made, they are short of votes.
Well, but Steny Hoyer says, I wish we had more time on it, but he is saying the number two, the majority leader. In the end, people won't remember the process as much as the final results, in this case, the final vote for health care.
And of course, Neal, that's what they're... But Neal, of course, that's what they're saying now, because that's what they want to have happen. But the American people get it. They understand that they were promised transparency and fairness. In fact, Nancy Pelosi, when she took the gavel, said it was going to be the most transparent Congress in the history of the Republic. And in fact, it has been the single most closed Congress in the history of the Republic, and the record stands for itself, and this is another sad chapter in that record. So I hope we can get the message through and ensure that accountability, fairness, and not having the government take control of 1/6 of our economy is, at the end of the day, what happens.
You know, Congressman, I'm not blowing you smoke. You know the great thing about you? When we were in just two homes, it was my mother-in-law's home and my sister's home, you came on. And I,
you know what? After my appearance today,
I'll never forget that.
After my appearance today, Neal, you may only have two homes in the audience again.
I don't think so, but Congressman, thank you very, very, very much.
Thanks.
Good seeing you.
Always good.